Another sharing formula has surfaced again. CEO and grant bodies, they came out with this new formula. What is this formula all about? Guys, listen to it and let's continue this conversation in the comment section. And tell me what you think about it, what they said by the time you listen to it. Appreciate you guys for stopping by, and bye for now.
Since our economists and financial experts, good morning, UD Francis. We are looking at some of the issues in the grand community this morning, and this is the formidables. So, as we stated last week, this program is about enlightenment and information and giving accurate information analysis on issues in the grand community so that the subscribers of various grants can be well informed and educated so that they know how to adjust their thinking capacity and maybe when needs be they know where we are in the stream of time. So over the years we've seen that various grant handlers have come up with a mouth-watering amount to be given to Nigerians as grants and what have you. Even though so many of them have never fulfilled that promise, but they came out with all this mouth-watering, very inviting, very exciting figures, very humongous figures that they have as grants to be given to Nigerians. From Telpecon, who came up with 10 million naira per beneficiary, and others came up with 2 million, some 5 million, and even others like Mama Supreme uh, said he's going to give 300,000. I think Osim Grant also grassroots stuff also promised people whether 100,000. So many of them they have been promising various amounts. Theobarth promised us beneficiaries 1.8 million. And even the current UAAG, even though the officials have not come up to give us the real amount they want to pay, but the promoters keep on saying that the money is in the region of millions, like 5 millions, like 3 millions, 1.5 millions, 2.5 millions, and what have you. So now the question we want to ask ourselves is that were these figures or these figures that have been banded by all the brand handlers over the years, even though they have not fulfilled it, are they really something to be are they realistic or are they something to be relied upon that can be given out to millions, 50 million Nigerians, 75 million Nigerians, and 100 million Nigerians? Do you think these figures banded all over the years are something realistic? Maybe I just throw that to the open house. Maybe Judy Francis, you can just share your thoughts.
All right, thank you very much, comrade. Thank you. Well, I think I have to add something there.
Okay.
Yes, Tel Pecon and because I could remember the Tepecon stuff was about 10 billion, 10 billion per outlet. And from that Tepecon, you get so many of them, Theobarth. And now we're talking about UAG. You talk about Supreme. Then I overheard you mention Osim Grant. All these humongous amount of money, they are not realistic. They are not realistic because since they have made this promise, have they been able to fulfill it? The answer is no. And then now you check. In fact, before we go further, I think yesterday in the Punch newspaper, you saw where the president approved 50,000 naira. 50,000 naira. That is to tell you how how this government value money. How they value money. So the impression all these ground handlers have created in ground community is too bad, because it's affecting the masses. So the money they are mentioning is not realistic and cannot be. It cannot be. Thank you very much.
All right, let me now give a chance to our economic expert, somebody who knows what it means to give money, to invest, and things like that in the financial sector. I'm talking about Mr. Martins. What is your view on this issue?
All right, thank you, comrades. I want to appreciate you for bringing me up this morning to talk on this matter. Um, Before now, I have thought about it severally when people come to me telling me that what they're expecting in the next 2 months will turn them to billionaires. I remember about 2 years ago, somebody walked up to my office and he said, in the next 6 months, we will have 10 billion in his account. And I wonder how in this country, Nigeria, you know, so a lot of people will just walk in and let us know that they're expecting about 1 trillion, 500 billion. That in the next six, some of them have even started looking for houses in Ikoyi, Guarifa in Abuja to buy. So look look at the net worth of this guy. Some of them, those people have up to 100,000 in their account. And now begin to wonder, are you going to do money ritual? Even if you do money ritual now, I'm sure you'll not be thinking of 1 billion. Talk less of having a count 10 billion, thinking about 10 billion in the next 6 months. So the question is, how come? Where? How? Is it that the money God will rain manna from heaven and bring down nairas and dollars and stuff for you? But the truth is, we've not, come to the reality of what is going to happen, or what we have on ground that can turn the situation around. I mean, based on our expectations and things we're expecting from these guys, we are not really sat down to look at the reality, how possible it is. So this morning, let me just share some little analysis with us for us to have an understanding that this is not possible. I'm going to start from Nigeria budget. Nigeria budget for this year is just 27.5 trillion. That's the total budget for Nigeria as a country, 27.5 trillion. And our expected revenue for this year, what we are expected to get as revenue is just 80 trillion as a nation. Our GDP last year was $252.75 billion. That's just about 252 trillion naira. So GDP simply means our total monetary value, or let's say our total market value of goods, of finished goods and services. That means your worth. Then take for example now, as a person, if I have a land, I have a fridge, I have television, I have a TV, I have a car. My net worth is a function of the sales of those products. Yes. Okay. So if, for example, a nation, Nigeria as a whole, our GDP is 253 trillion. That is our net worth. That is the market value of our goods and services, right from the woman that is selling on the street to NNPC, to all our multinationals. The woman that is selling paper in the market, and everybody in the nation, our value is just 253 trillion as a report. Okay. Trillion. Yeah, at our last year. So if we have that as our time, I will now look at the allocation. What is the allocation that they give to government, all the 3 tiers of government that we share annually? For April 2024, government shared 1.8 trillion among the federal, the state,
and the local government.
So let's even have an average of 1.87, in a year, in a month, times 12. That means the total money we are going to share as our allocation is just 31.6 trillion. That's 21 trillion. A whole year to pay all the government, federal government, state, and local government, 21 trillion. Okay? So for our allocation, on our allocation now, for to share is just 21 trillion. Our GDP as for 2024 is 27.5 trillion.
Trillion.
So if you now trillion naira, everything naira. If you now compare to what these grant handlers are promising, let's just do a comparison and see how possible it is. Okay, I just look at it. Okay, we are looking at 50 million Nigerians, right?
Yes.
Above
50 million Nigerians.
Above 50 million Nigerians.
Okay, let's just put an average of 50 million Nigerians. Because some of them promised they are going to give 50 million Nigerians, 50 million Nigerians.
Yes.
If you
some say 75 million.
Huh?
In some say 75 million. Even UAAG said 100 million.
Some say 100 million. But let's just do a benchmark of 50 million Nigerians.
Okay.
50 million Nigerians that they want to give 3 million. We are not looking at 10 million. I think Sam said 10 million. And then, okay, some people are saying 1.8, let's just make it 3 million for 50 million Nigerians. If you look at if we do the calculation very well, what we get there is 150 trillion.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Times two.
So, in which economy will you come that to? And from what budget?
For what budget? That's 150 trillion. If you have the cluster head money, let's say cluster head is 100,000 among the 550 million, and some of them promise 100 million, and the CEO money and everything, that will give you additional 20 million. So what it means, 20 trillion. So what it means is, from the grant handler, what he's saying is he has 170 trillion to give out. 170 trillion. Remember that the GDP, that is the market value of
everything,
is just 253 trillion. And somebody is promising you 170 trillion. The entire GDP of Ghana is just 72 trillion. So what it means is Ghana times 2 is less than that.
What the Ghana has
promised of Ghana as a country multiplied by 2.
It's lovable. It's
less than what a grant handler is promising us. That's 50 million. That's 50 million Nigerians that is expecting
3 million naira each
as beneficiary fund. Ghana multiplied by 2 is less than the cost of that grant. So what it means is, if that grant that has come out and people have believed in and people are keen into it, we are dropping money, we are subscribing to it, what it's saying is it has 67% of our GDP as a nation.
Wow.
Everybody in Nigeria, both Dangote, Otedola, the multinationals, the companies, government, parastatals, market women and everything, that grant handler has 67% of our work as a nation.
Which means even the grant handler can even form his own country.
He can form his own country and move all the people in the ecosystem and put them in that particular country.
I hope Cashflow is listening to this. Cashflow, I hope you are listening to
this. What it means is the grant handler has 6 years of a Nigeria budget. Because if our budget for this year is just 27.5 trillion, and he has 170 trillion to give us, that means we can afford our budget for the next 6 years. You see how impossible that is? I just seen what we've done to ourselves. When I see people telling me 100 billion, 10 billion, 15 billion, someone say I've gone to price a house in Abuja and the house is about 1 billion. I just buy 1 billion mansion in Abuja. and you don't have 1 million in your account. I said, are you mad? Are you from which planet are you from?
Yeah,
Maybe from
comrade.
our
Yes,
Pluto or what?
comrade. Yes, comrade. Comrade.
Let me ask cash flow. Cash flow.
Excuse me, comrade.
Cash.
Excuse me, comrade.
Okay.
Do you now see the reason why they always laugh at me whenever I went to the bank, to talk about this billion? Do you now see the reason why they laugh at me? In fact, they sees me as a madman. Where is this madman coming from? Do you now see the reason? Because when they analyze what I'm talking about, they discover that maybe something is wrong with this person. Honestly.
That is it. That
Oh,
is it. Because let me bring in cash flow. Cash flow, what is your take? You've been in this community for a long time. Have you also had such experience of going to a bank to open an account and now they don't look at you that you were expecting billions of naira?
huh.
Let me say this. If the atlas have even we plan to give and they grant 100,000 naira per beneficiary. Believe I said if the grant handlers have even told the government they have a grant to give Nigeria per beneficiary is 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira. Believe me, the government can even allow them to disburse it. But when they come and say per beneficiary is 3 million, 5 million, the owner of the NGO will go home with 10 billion, 50 billion. The government on their own will look at them and say, 10 billion for an NGO. Let us even see the document of the grant. Where is this money domicile? When they go and check and they discover, how did this person actually came with this money? You know what? The government will never allow such a huge amount of money into the economy. We never. But if they have opened up and said, okay, this is what we are giving, it's just 100,000 naira, it's 50,000 naira, just like government, the federal government has been giving a 50,000 naira to Nigeria. Believe me, the government will allow them. But you see, these people, like we said last time, out of greed, the handlers have even extorted the poor masses. They are driving on expensive jeeps, buying expensive houses here and there. This alone have attracted the government to prove them. This alone have attracted the poor masses. They have extorted to report them to the authority. These people told us they have a grant to give us. We subscribe to it. They are not giving us the money, but they are driving, they are going about with jeeps, with our securities. There was a time I saw Theophilus. Oh my God, you would think a president is coming to visit a community. You would think a governor of a state is the one passing. And this is a man who has promised the people heaven and earth, and nothing has been able to, nothing he has been able to give. You see, the reality of it is that it is greed that led us to these people. And I can say it categorically with all boldness that the money, the amount of money they are even talking about is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that huge amount of money is not even there. It's not there.
Okay, hold on your thought there. Hold on your thought. Don't you think they bring in this humongous amount so that they can attract people? Because if you say, oh, if you subscribe, if you bring 1,000, I give you 10,000 naira or 20,000, it will not be attractive. But when you tell somebody that, oh, if you bring 20,000, I give you 200 million or 100 million as grant, it looks attractive, it looks inviting. don't you think that there is a kind of deceit in the first place in this advertisement? Let me say this. Forget about beneficiaries now. If 8,000 people pay 100,000 naira, calculate it. How much is that? 8,000 NGOs give you 100,000 naira each. Do you know how much is that? Okay. If 8,000 NGOs give you, you said 80 million. 80 million. That's 80 million. If 8,000 NGOs are giving you 30,000 naira each, do you know how much it is? And now people are now registering for this grant, and they call it, and they told the NGOs, if you must bring in your NGOs, you must support the project. I'm supporting the NGO, supporting the project. Somebody like me, when I was supporting the UAAG, I paid 200,000 naira. Some places pay 300,000, some pay 500,000 naira. And believe me, I attended a meeting with Chief Akogun where he told us in that meeting that the money he gave to UAAG is more than 50 million naira. And many others gave like that. So these are some of the areas the grant handlers are extracting money from the poor masses to enrich their own self.
Yes.
So when they tell the poor masses pay 1,000 naira, you are going to get 5 million naira, 5 million or 10 million,
and
or 10 million naira.
Excuse me, comrade. Let me before I forget this thing. And do you know the negative strategies they usually came up with? They will be telling masses. They will be telling people, especially this one of UAG, that what is coming is huge. What is coming is huge. What is coming is huge. What is that is coming? Number one, you people have not set your eyes on the document. You don't even know how much that is on ground. And you kept telling people what is coming is huge, what is coming is huge. In fact, that is mischievous. Okay, that is mischievous. Telling people what is coming is
I agree with you.
Yes, what is coming is huge. And they don't know amount that is even on ground.
In the document.
Yes. You don't even know anything. But you kept telling people. And most of these people that used to tell the masses that what is coming is huge, the masses sees them as people that can trust and respect, but by the end of the day, you see, they disappoint them. Now what is coming is huge. You convince people, you convince the masses or the poor, even the people that don't even have, they will go and borrow, and what is coming is huge. By the end of the day, you now tell the people that the document is in the hand of the government. And which government is that? That is deceit. Comrade, you can continue.
Okay. Let me say this. Do you know when we started hearing this issue of palliative? I remember that I put a call to one or two persons. In fact, I called Osi. I called somebody like Mr. Kendra, and some persons. I said, what I am hearing and I have investigated this is palliative, which the AGPGN are telling Nigerians now. That what the government is saying they are going to allow into the economy or into the hands of the beneficiaries is just a palliative. Some of them got angry. And said no. And in fact, Osim will even post it in his own platform and said, don't forget about what people are saying, forget about their palliative. It is millions he's expecting. Okay, let me hold your. Okay, I remembered when some group of men visited even the country director of UAAG. They told me that the country director of UAAG told them that he will not give less than what is on the document, which I assume that he has seen the document. And I asked the person, what is on the document? He said, what is on the document is 3 million naira per beneficiary.
I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying.
Yes.
3
What was the
million
document
naira.
is 3 million naira per beneficiary. And that these guys, the UAAG that are saying they want to give a palliative, they have compromised with the government to siphon the money. So this is where the whole issue lies. You have not seen the document. You have not seen what is on the document. You are coming to tell Nigerians it is 5 million, it is 10 million, it is 3 million naira you want to give to Nigerians. And in the process of you telling Nigeria this is what you want to give, see, Nigerians or black people are actually very gullible. We don't ask questions before we do anything. So long that we are black people and we are in this continent, believe me.
And the thing is very enticing.
And
the information is enticing and sweet to the ears.
Sweet to the ears. So whatever they tell us, we agree. This is what has put a lot of persons into trouble today. Let me tell you, when Supreme started, I became a very good friend to Mama Supreme. I registered a lot of people, a lot of persons in Mama Supreme. The little change they pay to me, when I discovered that this woman has no money, when you tell somebody, give me 5,000 naira, I want to give you 100 million.
Now,
Because you say 100 million, give me 5,000. And they go and even if they don't have, they go and borrow that money and bring for you. Let me tell you, after gathering this money and I send it to the woman. When the issue of Supreme became a disappointing issue to all Nigerians, I started looking for ways to bring the people their money back, putting me, the CEO, into trouble. Because from these people to give to this woman. This is the issue on ground. We don't ask questions, we just drop into it. My advice, I will keep advising Nigeria. Please, in fact, stay away from anything they call grant. If it's not coming from the government.
So, but okay, comrades, cash flow. Let's refer to the meeting before last held by the country director of the UAAG, Pastor Abi Bishop, or is it Apostle Ken Wakama? He actually said in that meeting that what he will give to Nigerian is not palliative, but grants. That those who want to give palliative should go ahead and give their palliative. But what he promised, if you don't see the document, you don't have the document. How do you know how much is in the document? That is the question. You've not seen the document. You've not seen the amount of the document. You don't know how much is going to be disbursed. But you are saying that you are going to disburse grants, not palliative. Have you seen deceit and contradiction in all that? You did.
Well, that is, I think I have said this earlier, or just my second contribution. That is complete deceit. That is complete deceit. When you have not seen the document, you have not set your eyes on the document, you don't even know what is written on the document you are talking about, and you came up and told the masses that you will give them a grant, not palliative, and they believed you. Isn't that a deception? Of course it is.
It is.
Yeah, it is. So at this point, grant community, although when you talk about grant community, this community is very, very vast. We have different kinds of people with different reasons.
It's a regional society. It's a regional society on its own.
Exactly, and with a different level of understanding.
Yeah.
So like this, our program this morning is to enlighten those who want to understand, because there are so many of them out there. Even if you use cutlass to cut off your hand in the name of proving what you are saying, they will not believe you. They will not believe you, because from onset their mentality and their conviction is that they will go home with millions or billions. So when somebody comes out to tell them that they are disbursing grant, not palliative, they will believe. Even they, do you know that even up till now, many of them are still behaving like some people that were caged somewhere. There's some people that are being used by remote control to control them. So that is it. The truth there is that most of these grant handlers, they are pastors, apostles, and they cover themselves with big titles, and that
I
is
thought you want to say that they cover themselves with the blood of Jesus Christ.
no with no no they cover themselves with big titles, and they're making the masses to believe them so much because religion in Africa, especially in Nigeria, it has a negative impact as well. So when somebody comes out to say he's a pastor, he's an evangelist, he's a prophet, he's a bishop, he's this apostle and the other one,
It commands some level of respect and
yes,
trust.
yes, it commands some level of influence and trust. Like people, that knows what religion is, that believes in, that are Christians, and we know religion small. Like those people that comes out to say they are apostle and bishop, we call them daddy. Of course, you know what that means: spiritual daddy, even spiritual daddy, even physical daddy. That is what we are taught. So when a bishop comes out, or an apostle comes out to tell you that he's giving you this humongous amount of money, you believe him because
You believe because he's a man of God.
because
God is a
yes,
man of God.
yes, he's a man of God. You believe him. In fact, you'll be even calling him daddy, daddy.
Daddy.
Daddy. Yeah, yeah. Thinking that what he was telling you is what is on ground, but by the end of the day, you discover that all those things are
It's
just lies,
all lies and deceit.
lies and deceit. They are all lies and
It's
deceit.
okay. It's okay. I want to bring the second leg of this discussion, and I want to call on Martin to expatiate on, if this were to be like all these humongous amount, what would have been the economic importance or economic implication to the Nigerian economy, Mr. Martins?
Okay, thank you once again, comrades. I laughed when Castro was talking and he said Apostle Ken Wakama promised 3 million, or let's even say for 50 million Nigerians. That's 150 trillion. That means, and Ghana GDP as of 2022 was 72 trillion. So that means Ken Wakama is greater than 2 times of Ghana. If you look at it's evident for mathematics. Because Ghana times 2 will be 144. So if it's given 3 million to 50 million Nigerians, or just 50 million Nigerians, that is 150 trillion. So multiply Ghana by 2, you see less than the worth of the grant handler.